This is Hannibal back here with a daily news update. Raw did its biggest rating since September 2019, 0.83. The show featured a confrontation between The Rock and Cody Rhodes. You cannot say that The Rock has not brought a lot of extra interest into WWE. And by the way, I really like how the set looks with no large entrance taking up half the arena, and they have the more UFC style tunnel with the fans on either side. I know every show doesn't sell enough tickets to do that. I know, for instance, Montreal, and this might go up now that they've made Sami Zayn champion, but there was less than 9,000 tickets sold for Montreal next Monday, which I think is next Monday, which would break the WWE's TV tape and sellout streak, unless they can pull it off bigger by between now and then. But obviously, people know that The Rock is going on to shoot Mark Kerr's movie, the movie about Mark Kerr. So he's obviously not going to be there. Apparently, Tuesday's NXT, they Drew Gulak, who, according to Ronda Rousey, there was an incident some time ago, possibly years ago, which I can't understand how it was not made more of a big deal about at the time if it happened. Like she says, she's claiming that he grabbed the drawstring on her pants and kind of pulled on it. She talked about this publicly in an interview with News Nation, and he's been removed from the group that he's involved with, Entrance on NXT. He's a very disposable guy. I only know his name because I think he had a hand in training Logan Paul, but I can't think of anything memorable he's done in WWE. It just seems like a bizarre situation. You know, Ronda Rousey is one of the highest paid women in the company. Why would you come up to her in front of a group of people and flick her drawstring when you like she's married? It's known. Unless I could understand maybe if he was drunk. He says he went to shake her hand but missed somehow. But I don't see, like, she's such a big star, and like she could have probably like made a big deal of it and got him fired back then. So it seems like it's weird that all these years later she's appear if he's been taken off the video thing and he's dispensable. It's not like he's an over guy. He'll probably be fired. It's almost guaranteed. But I don't understand why she waited so long to say anything. By the way, speaking of NXT, Braun Breaker is supposedly done with NXT. Will be debuting on the main roster. Collision on the weekend aired after WrestleMania and did one of its highest ratings in a long time, 0.15 for a tape show. I think all the fans that were watching WrestleMania, or a lot of them anyways, flipped over to Collision. By the way, they did air the CM Punk confrontation with Jack Perry on Dynamite tonight. I did a review of it. The link is in the description. But basically, to me, while it shows that CM Punk is definitely the aggressor of the situation, he did push and put some type of choke on Jack Perry. After that, he did lunge at Tony Khan. So I can understand how Tony Khan would have been afraid of that. But as far as is this going to make anyone stop watching WWE because CM Punk pushed and put a chokehold on Jack Perry, who's much smaller, by the way. I think it's like the first time he's been in a real fight where he's actually won that's been documented, because the Ted Hart thing from years ago, a lot of people say that CM Punk did not get the better of Ted. And then, of course, his UFC performances. So I think, if anything, it makes it look to the fans like, hey, this guy can actually get the upper hand over someone. So I don't think necessarily it's a bad thing, and you're showing one of the competition's top stars on your show. I think it will give them a good rating. This is the most I've heard people talking about in Dynamite for a long time. Well, it's gonna get if it's gonna get them better ratings for good. Time will tell. But that's the news. I will be interviewing Jenny Santana tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Apparently, she had some sort of talk with her father Tito at WrestleCon over the weekend, and before he was like not wanting anything to do with her. And I also am interviewing legendary boxer and actor Tommy Morrison's widow Trisha tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. She's got a lot of stuff going, including. Well, I'll let her make the announcements. I don't want any heat with her, but there's some interesting developments. So, anyways, good for The Rock. His rub has really helped WWE a lot, and there's a lot of positive buzz about the company.